how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
The curtain rises once more then on the desert stage of Sakir as the players take their places for the opening act. Will they enthrall us like they did in 2014 with that titanic battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton? Well, we'll find out shortly as we get underway here in Bahrain. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and 2 DRS zones will help with that as well. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some points during the Grand Prix. I'm joined again today by none other than Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, obviously there's a lot of development work that goes on with these cars between the races. You've been both a test driver and a race driver. What differences are there in the way you approach those roles?
Interesting question, Crofty. They're two very different mindsets. I mean, when I tested for BAR, we had full in-season testing where, per driver, you'd cover up to 15,000 kilometres per season. And in that role, it was more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as you could, so that that data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When you're lining up on the grid for a race, however, your frame of mind's all about what you can get out of the situation on that day, and the car's the tool to help you achieve what you want. You still want to focus on setup, of course, but it's more about the here and now, getting yourself as far up the field as possible, and less about development work for the future.
You qualified higher than we were expecting, so see if you can keep this position in the race.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Nico Rosberg completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have a Renault, Ricciardo, Kimi Raikkonen, and Vettel, Verstappen, Perez, Massa, and Valtteri Bottas, Grosjean, Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg, and Alonso, Kvyat, Button, Pascal Wehrlein, and Kevin Magnussen, Gutierrez, and Harry Anto, Felipe Nasser, and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature. And remember, there is no overtaking until the full safety car line. Stay in position until the green flags.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Nico Rosberg takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Well, it's a difficult decision for sure, but I'm going to say Pascal Wehrlein. We've been seeing his talent elsewhere for a while now, and it's good to see him making the same kind of impact in Formula One.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Nico Rosberg takes over the lead.